For the second challenge, when using MIT App Inventor, we're going to extend Color Spotter to send a text message using a procedure. If you followed along with the first challenge and first solution, you saw that it was a lot of work to duplicate the code to send the text message 6 times, one for each button. For this particular challenge, we're going to consolidate all the when logic into a procedure. That means everything inside that if statement that says if global count is equal to 6, plus the additional blocks that are required to send a text message. So before we send you off to do the challenge, I'm going to show you just a quick overview of how to create a procedure and how to call it. So we'll come back to App Inventor, and here we have an empty project I've called Intro to Procedures. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin by coming back to the designer. We're going to put a button on the screen so that we have something to call our procedure. And then we're going to put a label on the screen so that we can have our procedure do something. First of all, we'll set our label to the empty string, and then we'll call this button Call Procedure. And then come over to the blocks. Let's come over to the blocks for button 1 and bring in the when button 1 click as we did before. And then let's come over here to Procedures and bring in one of these things where it says to procedure do. So we'll bring this over here onto our blocks surface. We'll call our procedure set the label. And inside the procedure, we'll put in code to set the text of the label. And we'll bring in a text block. And we'll set it to the string I'm inside a procedure. Now, obviously, if you had a lot of things to do, you could put more than one statement inside this procedure. But this just gives you the basic idea of how to put the components together. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click on Procedures one more time. And you can see now that it shows us one that says Call Set the Label. So we just drag it here and put it inside the when button 1 click. And now if we come over to our emulator and we click on Call Procedure, it calls Set the Label, and inside Set the Label, it sets the text of label 1 to I'm inside a procedure. So what you're going to do for the challenge is you're going to create a procedure to do the when logic. You're going to move the if statement that is at the end of every button's click block into your procedure. You're going to delete the code inside every button's click block that does the if count equals 6 and replace it with a call to that procedure. And then finally, come back to the procedure and add the blocks that are necessary to send the text message to the procedure so that every time the user taps the block and the count equals 6, it will call the procedure and do the winning process, set the when label to visible, set the play again button to visible, play the sound, as well as send the text message. And all of the code that's in those blocks will only exist in one place, just inside the procedure. This challenge should take you about 10 minutes. So I'll see you on the other side with my solution.